Hi, Julie here again from the CTL with Mike Chane. We're going to focus this segment on understanding how to hand wash and properly sterilize our hands. And if you've watched the mask video already, we were very specific about talking about you need to wash your hands and sterilize your hands before you put your mask on or take it off or put it on again. And so I wanted to ask Mike to be a little bit more specific about how should we be washing our hands, and maybe talk a little bit about whether or not we should be wearing gloves or not. Gloves are not required in our Cincinnati State guidelines, and washing your hands is required in the Cincinnati State guidelines, just to get that out there. So Mike, talk to me a little bit about how I wash my hands, or what the different things I should be thinking about with that.
Yeah, so just like anything else, and if you've watched our other segments, one of the main points we've made, common theme is that if you're going to do something, do it right. Whether it's wear your mask properly, caring for your mask, all these different things. Otherwise, you're not really protecting anybody, others or yourself. And so with hand washing, it's the same thing. If you ever watch a little kid wash their hands, they kind of wave at the soap, run their hand under the water, and they say, yeah, I washed my hands. Well, they didn't. Yeah. So to properly wash your hands, you want to make sure that you get enough soap on there to lather, and then you want to use, scrub them all over. And there's, frequently missed spots under the fingernails, backs of the hands, palms. Make sure you're doing it for about 20 seconds is what the CDC, or minimum of 20 seconds is what the CDC recommends. And that's always been the guideline. Yeah. And hand washing is very effective. Some people think, well, hand washing isn't as good as, hand sanitizer. And that's not necessarily the case, because with washing your hands, the soap doesn't kill anything, but it does remove them, and then your germs wash down the drain. They're gone.
So I know that a lot of times I always sing happy birthday in my head when I'm doing that. So if you can find something that's 20 seconds long for you to play in your head, whether it's a song or something, it's a good way to just be consistent with that. And I also tend to I have very small, I don't really have fingernails very much, but I will have a lather soap here, and then I kind of just scratch a little as I'm going through, and then, doing this and doing that. Of course, you can also use a brush, right, for under your nails. They have these nail brushes that are really inexpensive, if you want to do that and be super thorough. But I sing happy birthday. What do you tell your kids to sing?
Well, you can sing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, I think, too. Yeah. Or I don't know if Yankee Doodle works, but, something short.
A little slower, like you said. Yeah. All right, so that's washing with soap.
So one more thing, Julie, is if you have long fingernails, it's not the ends that are the dirtiest part. It's actually the part right before where it starts in your skin there. So make sure you get up under there.
Yeah. I'm lucky I don't have that problem.
I don't either.
Don't have any long nails over there, Mike? Okay. All right, so let's talk about hand sanitizer.
Okay. So hand sanitizer, again, going back to the theme, if you're going to do it right, or it's kind of useless. So it's not just about getting hand sanitizer on your hand and then, kind of giving it a smear around, and then you don't like your hands wet, so you wipe them off.
Yeah.
With alcohol, yeah. And Julie had mentioned in the other segment that she sees people doing that, drying their hands. So it's about getting the right volume so that your hands stay wet for, I don't remember exactly what the guideline is, but it's like 20 seconds. So you want to make sure that you get them wet with the sanitizer, alcohol-based scrub, whatever it is you're using, and then leave it wet. Yep, rub it around, get in your fingernails. Now that might kill stuff, but it doesn't remove stuff. So that's why I'm kind of an old school kind of soap and water kind of guy, because I like picturing the stuff going down the drain. But they do find that people are more compliant with the hand sanitizer and alcohol-based foams because it's readily available and it's portable. You can have it with you.
Yeah,
so yeah, and the same with alcohol wipe. There's little pads you know, if you're tearing one of those open and trying to clean your hands, that is not enough alcohol volume to properly clean your hands. So enough
Right.
volume to stay wet for, you know, 20 seconds or so.
And definitely don't wipe your hands. Let them air dry. Do your jazz
Right.
hands or just leave it by your side. But yeah,
Yeah, I just kind of, and I have a really good smelling one in my truck. So if I leave it wet, you know, I'm smelling it longer.
yeah. You know, to that end as well, a lot of breweries are making hand sanitizer to make it more available to people. And I don't know about you, they work just as well as the others do. They're 91% alcohol, I think, but man, some of those have a real distilling smell to them. So if you are smell sensitive, just keep that in mind because man, I felt like I smelled like a vodka brewery for like a day using
Yeah.
one. All right, well,
Oh,
Mike, go ahead.
can I mention one thing really quick? So some people don't want to wash their hands a lot because their hands get so dry, especially in the wintertime. So one of the things that'll dry your hands out more is if you're using really warm water.
Yeah.
So if, like when I'm at the hospital and I'm washing my hands between patients, which is, you know, every 10 to 15 minutes, my hands get so dry. I wash them with cold water and they don't get near as dry.
Right, because the pores don't open when you're using cold water. They remain, and you know, the integumentary system is technically waterproof. But of course, our pores, our hair follicles, and other things open and close. You know, another thing that I found is at night. This is just little like fun tips, but if you break open a vitamin E capsule, not to use the vitamin E oil, but a vitamin E capsule before you go to bed, after you've washed everything, and you just rub that on your hands, it does wonders for the skin. And the next day, it helps to actually create even a barrier when you're washing your hands with cold water. You'll feel it. It creates a little barrier. It won't be sticky. It'll sink in, but it creates a barrier. So I do that a lot,
Right.
especially in the lab. That's something that I do in the evenings because I get that really dry skin too. And again,
Yeah.
let's maintain perspective. Dry skin is not as bad as sharing, contracting, and receiving pathogens. So, it's a
Right.
trade-off, but maybe it's one that we need to just accept that we may have come
Yeah.
winter. So, all
Yeah.
right, Mike, thanks so much. And we'll talk to you again. And everybody, please don't forget that other videos are available. You'll notice that some of the smaller ones may be repeated in the large, longer one. But I appreciate everyone listening. If you have additional questions for Mike about sterilizing our hands with soap and or Purell, please send those to me. And Mike has agreed to answer additional questions either through video or some other format that we can find. Mike, thanks so much for your time. I really, really appreciate it.
For having me.
All
Yeah.
right,
Thank you.
bye.